Paris, the city of lights, a place where every corner holds a story, every street whispers secrets of the past. The city of love. It was a city that whispered tales of romance, a place where dreams took flight. Lovers strolled hand in hand, their laughter echoing through the cobblestone streets. But on this particular afternoon, the sky wept, mirroring the melancholy that had settled upon Emma's heart. The rain fell in a steady rhythm, each drop a reminder of the tears she had shed. She sat in a small cafe, seeking refuge from the sudden downpour. The cafe was a haven of warmth and light, a stark contrast to the dreary weather outside. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, a faint attempt to dispel the gloom that clung to her like a second skin. The steam rising from her cup seemed to carry with it a sense of fleeting comfort. She glanced at the book lying open on the table before her, its pages reflecting the story she couldn't seem to escape, her own. The words blurred as her thoughts drifted to the past, a story of love lost, of promises broken, of a heart left shattered, each chapter a painful reminder of what once was and what could never be again. The sting of betrayal was still fresh, a wound that refused to heal. She had trusted so completely, only to have her heart torn apart. Suddenly, the bell above the cafe door chimed, announcing the arrival of a newcomer. The sound was sharp, cutting through her reverie. Emma looked up, her gaze drawn to the man who had just entered. There was something about him that captured her attention, something that made her heart skip a beat. He was tall, with dark tousled hair and eyes that held the promise of a kind soul. His presence seemed to bring a new energy into the room. He brushed the raindrops from his coat, a smile playing on his lips as he surveyed the room. His smile was warm, inviting, and it reached his eyes. Their eyes met, and in that instant something shifted within Emma. It was as if the world had paused, just for a moment, to allow this connection to happen. It was a flicker of hope, a spark of warmth in the cold emptiness that had become her life. For the first time in a long while, she felt a glimmer of something she thought she had lost forever. The man hesitated for a moment, then made his way towards her, his smile widening as he approached. Each step he took seemed to echo with possibility. His name, he would soon tell her, was Nicholas. His voice was gentle, soothing, and it wrapped around her like a comforting embrace. And this chance encounter, on a rainy afternoon in a Parisian cafe, was about to change their lives forever. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with hope, healing, and the promise of love reborn. Nicholas. His name rolled off her tongue like a whispered prayer, a melody that resonated deep within her soul. Every time she uttered it, she felt a connection, a bond that seemed to transcend the physical world and touch the very essence of her being. He was everything she wasn't, confident, optimistic, full of life. His presence was like a breath of fresh air, a stark contrast to the shadows that had long clouded her heart. His laughter was infectious, his smile a beacon of hope in her otherwise mundane existence. He painted the city with his words, weaving tales of its hidden gems and forgotten stories. Each story he told was like a brushstroke on the canvas of her mind, creating a vivid picture of a Paris she had never known. His passion for the city was palpable, and it drew her in, making her see the world through his eyes. Emma, captivated by his infectious enthusiasm, found herself falling under his spell. She admired his zest for life, his ability to find joy in the simplest of things. With Nicholas, every moment felt like an adventure, a journey into the unknown. They strolled hand in hand along the Seine, the river shimmering like a ribbon of silver under the moonlight. The gentle lapping of the water against the banks was like a soothing lullaby, a backdrop to their whispered conversations and shared dreams. They stole kisses under the Eiffel Tower, its twinkling lights a testament to the love that was blossoming between them. Each kiss was a promise, a silent vow to cherish and protect the fragile bond they were building. Nicholas, with his camera in hand, captured their stolen moments, freezing them in time. Each photograph was a memory, a tangible reminder of the love they shared and the adventures they embarked on together. He introduced her to the city's hidden treasures, quaint bookstores with dusty shelves and forgotten novels, places where time seemed to stand still and the past whispered its secrets to those who cared to listen. Charming cafes tucked away in cobblestone alleys, where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the scent of blooming flowers, creating an atmosphere of warmth and comfort. Vibrant markets overflowing with colorful blooms and the aroma of freshly baked bread. These markets were a feast for the senses, a riot of colors, sounds, and smells that left her feeling invigorated and alive. Each experience, shared with Nicholas, chipped away at the wall around Emma's heart, allowing slivers of sunlight to penetrate the darkness within. His love was like a balm, soothing her wounds and giving her the strength to hope again. For the first time since her heartbreak, Emma allowed herself to dream again. She began to envision a future filled with love and happiness, a future where the pain of the past was but a distant memory. To believe in the possibility of a love that could heal, a love that could make her forget the pain of the past. With Nicholas by her side, she felt a sense of hope and optimism that she had long thought lost. Nicholas, with his gentle touch and unwavering affection, was slowly awakening her soul, showing her that even in the depths of despair, hope could bloom again. His love was a beacon, guiding her out of the darkness and into the light of a new beginning. Yet, even as Emma surrendered to the intoxicating embrace of love, a shadow lingered at the edge of her joy. The memory of her past relationship, a painful reminder of how quickly love could turn to ashes, haunted her waking moments and plagued her dreams. The fear of repeating the same mistakes, of being vulnerable again, of having her heart broken once more, was a constant weight on her chest. She found herself pulling away from Nicholas, erecting walls where bridges had once stood. His touch, once a source of comfort, now sent shivers of apprehension down her spine. His declarations of love, once music to her ears, now triggered a wave of panic within her. Nicholas, sensing her withdrawal, tried to understand the reason behind her sudden change. He showered her with affection, hoping to reassure her of his feelings. But Emma, trapped in the labyrinth of her own fears, pushed him further away, her silence speaking volumes. The ghost of her past relationship loomed large, a specter that threatened to destroy the fragile happiness they had found. Emma, torn between her desire for love and her fear of heartbreak, found herself at a crossroads. She had to make a choice: confront her demons and fight for the love she so desperately craved, or succumb to her fears and risk losing Nicholas forever. The wedge between them, once a sliver of doubt, now yawned like a chasm, threatening to swallow their love whole. What started as minor misunderstandings had grown into a vast expanse of unresolved issues and unspoken grievances. The love that once seemed unbreakable now felt fragile, teetering on the edge of collapse. Nicholas, his patience worn thin by Emma's continued silence, found it increasingly difficult to bridge the distance she had placed between them. Every attempt to communicate was met with a wall of indifference, and the frustration gnawed at him. He remembered the days when their conversations flowed effortlessly, filled with laughter and shared dreams. His attempts to rekindle the spark they once shared were met with a coldness that chilled him to the bone. The warmth that once radiated from her eyes was replaced by an icy detachment. He tried to remind her of their shared memories, the moments that had defined their love, but it was as if she had built an impenetrable fortress around her heart. He longed for the woman who had looked at him with stars in her eyes, the woman who had shared his dreams and stolen his heart. Those photographs were a painful reminder of what they had lost. Each smile captured in those images felt like a distant echo of a happier time, a time when their love seemed invincible. But that woman seemed lost, replaced by a stranger who spoke in whispers and flinched at his touch. The intimacy they once shared had been replaced by a palpable tension, a constant reminder of the growing chasm between them. He wondered if she felt the same pain, the same sense of loss that haunted him every day. The pain of her rejection was a bitter pill to swallow, a constant reminder of the love they were losing. It was a slow, agonizing process, like watching a beautiful painting fade and crack over time. He clung to the hope that they could find their way back to each other, But that hope was dwindling with each passing day. One evening, as they sat in strained silence, the weight of their unspoken words pressing down on them, Nicholas finally reached his breaking point. The silence was deafening, filled with the ghosts of conversations they never had. He could no longer bear the suffocating atmosphere that had become their reality. The pain of loving someone who couldn't or wouldn't let him in was unbearable. It was like trying to hold on to water, slipping through his fingers no matter how tightly he tried to grasp it. He realized that he was fighting a losing battle, one that was draining him of his strength and spirit. With a heart heavy with unshed tears, he made a decision. It was the hardest choice he had ever faced, but he knew it was necessary. He couldn't continue living in this limbo, caught between hope and despair. He needed to reclaim his sense of self, to find a way to heal from the wounds that their fractured relationship had inflicted. He rose from his chair, his movements stiff and mechanical. Each step felt like a monumental effort, as if the weight of his decision was physically bearing down on him. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for what he had to do. "I can't do this anymore, Emma," he said, his voice raspy with unshed tears. The words hung in the air, heavy with the finality of his decision. He had hoped for a different outcome, but he knew that this was the only way forward. "I can't keep fighting for something that's already gone." The realization was a painful one, but it brought with it a sense of clarity. He had been holding on to a ghost, a memory of what their love used to be, and it was time to let go. And with that, he turned and walked away, leaving Emma to face the consequences of her fear. As he walked through the streets of Paris, he felt a mixture of sorrow and relief. The city that had once been a backdrop to their love now seemed to offer him a chance at a new beginning, a chance to heal and move forward. The silence that followed Nicholas's departure was deafening. It echoed through the empty apartment, a constant reminder of what she had lost. The weight of her mistake pressed down on her, suffocating her with guilt and regret. In that moment of agonizing clarity, Emma realized the depth of her folly. She had pushed away the one person who had shown her true love, the one person who had believed in her when she couldn't believe in herself. Fear, that insidious beast, had poisoned her heart, blinding her to the precious gift she had been given. But it wasn't too late. She had to fight for Nicholas, to prove that her love for him was stronger than her fear. With newfound determination, Emma set out to win him back. She penned him letters, pouring out her heart onto the pages, each word a testament to the depth of her love and the sincerity of her remorse. She sought him out at his favorite haunts, her heart pounding with a mixture of hope and trepidation. Every unanswered letter, every missed encounter chipped away at her resolve, but she refused to give up. She knew that earning back Nicholas's trust would be a long and arduous journey, but she was willing to do whatever it took.